What is up? Welcome into a Victory Monday edition of the Barking Brown Show. I'm Jacob. On the road, Case and Nick Carnes down below. We appreciate you. I just wanted real quick before I do my normal spiel at the beginning, that part of our intro where Kevin does the whatever it effing takes. That's what this game's about. And I think that's the perfect line for this particular game. So I'm really happy that that's in there. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. If you're checking us out on Apple or Spotify, please hit that subscribe button and give us a rating. We also got the Barking Browns podcast on TikTok. So there's going to be some exclusive stuff there. Nick will have some betting content there, and we'll chime in from time to time on some things that is going on that realm. So please make sure you subscribe to all the things. Gentlemen, how are we on this Victory Monday afternoon?
Cracking a straw bango, southbound down. Had the time of my life this weekend. The game was like, it aged me because it was no easy going, but like the final 4 minutes of that might have been the best 4 minutes of my life.
And the most taxing.
Hell yeah. I'm riding high because I watched the Browns win a game that I've watched them lose so many times, man. And just to be 0-2 and to have that heart and to just keep fighting all the way through is so incredibly energizing. A season that's like hanging in the balance and you just fought for it all damn game. Hell yeah. Damn good day to be a Browns fan.
We have been the Packers before, so often where you get the interception that sets up a touchdown that lets them back in it. Then you get your field goal blocked. That it was a 43-yard field goal. You don't block that. There's a really good chance that they make that kick. That it's not like their kicker is a schmuck, So we've been in that situation so many times. I'll never forget the block 6 against Baltimore on like Monday night. Like we've been there. We've been there a million times where we were the Packers, and it was just it was unbelievable to watch that, the way it just unfolded. The defense, I'm convinced, was fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and say this at the beginning. This is because I want to clip this up for TikTok. I'm not going to clip this part about it, but I will clip the other part about it. But what we talked about, I think the Browns defense is the best defense in the NFL. Let me give you 3 numbers. Here are 3 numbers from the Browns defense that tells you why I think through 3 games they're the best in the NFL. Crap. Sorry. Now I forgot to pull up the stats.
Yeah. I'll give you.
Here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Here are 3 numbers, three stats that just explode off, just jump off the 3 data points that tell you why I think the Browns are the best defense in the NFL. 1, through 3 games, 56 quarterback pressures. 56. That's PFF. In 3 games combined, 172 rushing yards total. That is 2.3 yards per carry. And 441 total passing yards, despite playing Baltimore, Joe Burrow, who was healthy at the time. I know the Bengals had a bad week last week. And Jordan Love, who in the Packers, who their offense was rolling coming into Cleveland. Those 3 teams, and they've let up, what is that, little over like 600 yards of defense in 3 games, and they pressured the quarterback 56 times. That's the best defense in the NFL.
Okay, go back to those rushing numbers. 176, is that what you said?
72.
Okay. Chase Brown got what, 43?
Something like that.
Henry got 23. Derek fucking 23 yards. Josh Jacobs, what was that, 30?
30. Yeah, because I think it was 16 for 30 because he was under 2 yards a carry.
On 23 carries or something? Like, well, I mean, like, it's insane what they're doing yards per carry. And that's a direct reflection in my eyes of spending high draft equity on Mason Graham and Carson Schwesinger. And that completely solidified the middle of their run defense, man. And these are some of the best rushing teams, especially Green Bay and Baltimore. and you just nullified that like it wasn't nothing and made them play from behind the sticks.
Even while your offense was doing nothing to help you.
Right. I put this out today. You're looking at Chase Brown averaged 2 yards a carry, Derrick Henry averaged 2.1, and Josh Jacob averaged 1.9. So your leading yards per carry opponent this year is 2.1 from good old Derrick Henry. So I mean that is.
Is that good? Is that good?
You're talking about Derrick Henry, man. You're talking about Josh Jacobs. You're talking, and even Chase Brown was great last year. So to be able to make what you're doing is you're making opposing offenses one dimensional. That's what you're doing. And for as one dimensional as the Browns offense has been, you are doing that even more so against your opponents. And it's so encouraging to me to just see the defense be able to really just decide how the game is going to be played. I don't know. We saw flashes of that in 2023, but there were some legitimate arguments against the quarterbacks you're playing. I mean, when you're playing Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Jordan Love, and you're just able to dictate what they're going to be able to do on offense, that is a whole different level of dominance.
They're better than the 2023 team, and they're arguably third, maybe fourth best player. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is not going to take any snaps this year. He's probably behind Myles. He's behind Myles and Denzel, maybe behind Grant. He's somewhere. He's one of the 5 best players on your defense, and he's not going to play. But yeah, they took Mason Graham 5th overall because they're stupid. They should have taken anybody else and not.
Shout out to that one puking video that they called him a bust. The internet is so dumb sometimes.
Do you want a Mason Graham stat?
I love
Mason Graham stat from yesterday, because Mason Graham was unreal yesterday. Like, he's been good, but like yesterday he was unreal. Like, and this doesn't come to his defense. I'm not even going to talk about his defense. I'm trying to find it. Mason Graham recorded a 43% pass rush win rate against Green Bay. 43. That comes from ESPN Analytics. I was trying to make sure where that stat came from. They had 22 quarterback pressures. PFF gave him 8 sacks because PFF doesn't do half sacks, but they had 5 official sacks. It was from everyone. Aiden Huntington was awesome in this game. You guys have seen the Mina Kimes image, right? Like, I assume everybody has seen the conga line that was created to try to block Myles Garrett. And it's like, you can't do it anymore because Aiden Huntington's out there. Dude, they got pressure and sacks when Myles wasn't on the field. That never happened before. If Myles couldn't be Superman, like, the defense was just going to be average. Even if they had other good pass rushers, they just couldn't capitalize. But that is the difference. They've shut down the run because they prioritized that in the draft. And Malik Collins has been awesome, especially as a pass rusher. Malik Collins has been fantastic. Alex Wright came out and just decided he was going to tattoo Jordan Love on while he was out there. It was insane. No, Grant Delpit trucked Jordan Love on an interception return. That was a thing. This defense has swagger, guys. Like, we thought that 23 defense had swagger, but this defense is doing it, like Nick said, against elite quarterbacks, against top offenses. And I don't know that anybody in the NFL, there's some good defenses out there, but like, they faced Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, and Joe Burrow, and they haven't allowed 500 passing yards total with those 3 guys. They've seen all 3 of those guys. And their offense is not very good. We'll talk about the offense here in a second, but like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I watched that game and it was just like, the way the offense played, they had no business being in that game in the fourth quarter. No business. No business.
The game reminded me a lot of the 23 game against San Francisco. It was a little further down the season. It was week 6, coming off a bye, off a terrible loss to Baltimore. Imagine that. And the way they showed up that day, that was the first day. It was like, oh, this is for real. This defense, you said the word swag. It's fast, it's nasty, it's physical. They imposed their will, and Green Bay was a legitimate machine coming into this game. They put up points. And they're not predictable. It's not like, okay, you stop this one facet of your offense, stop the whole thing. Like, Jacobs had no success. Kraft even playing surprised me, but like he wasn't a big factor. They didn't let the receivers get out of control. Matthew Golden showed flashes. He's going to be a good one. And that's because the thing I'm saying is Green Bay is an excellent team, and they were able to do that to that offense. That offense will continue to find success. It'll continue to put up points. It'll be over 30 most weeks. It comes down to like Nick touched on this last week, and that's all I thought of leading up to the game is what is the tipping point of which the defense refuses to carry the water, and every drive I was kind of almost waiting for it to happen towards the end of the game when they're down 10. Did they start to give up now? Hell no, dog. They dug in. That was 60 minutes. That was the best defensive performance I've ever seen in person, and it was just so impressive, man. I walk away from that game, and my biggest takeaway from the entire weekend is what is at stake for this team to get their shit together, because they only played 4 minutes of complimentary football, and you beat a fucking legit Super Bowl contender. 4 minutes.
You played 4 minutes of complimentary football and beat one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, you're right. And I just before we move to the offense, I just want to say about Carson Schwesinger, man. I mean, some handsome fellow up there voted on him to be DPOY or a defensive rookie of the year. But I think about that sack he had on Jordan Love, and he is. I mean, a lot of these guys are 3 games into their career, and he just stepped up in such a big moment. Doesn't go to kill Jordan Love, no penalty. You could see he purposely led with his shoulder and got his head around Jordan Love to avoid anything like that. Gets that sack, and just it's like the moment is just not too big for all these young guys, man. And I think that's the most impressive thing. Andrew Berry's draft class is looking like one hell of a good one, and certainly his best that I think we've seen. It's crazy to me how these guys are already performing so well. And it's just, you didn't have multiple first round picks. You found these guys through the rounds as you went. And it's incredibly impressive.
The watching him track that and having the situational awareness and start Schwesinger's case to know like, hey, if I take off after, because what you see a lot of times is you'll see guys come after the scrambling quarterback, but when they do, they vacate their zone and there's a receiver back there and the quarterback just throws over his head and the receiver catches it and you're like, crap, there's a first down. But he understood there was nobody there. There was no reason for him to stay where he was staying. Jordan Love was running, and if Jordan Love was going to hold on to that football, he was going to get hit by Carson Schwesinger. That reminds me too of a play in the very earlier when they were in the red zone and resulted in them forcing them to kick that field goal where Denzel Ward is running with a wide receiver in motion and he's we were on the visiting side. So it was right in front of us behind the Packers bench where the numbers are. So practically to the sideline on the one side. He follows him in motion all the way over to the other sideline at full speed in order to jump up and swat the ball away. And you're like, yeah, that's why Denzel Ward is he's a top 3 corner and he's probably not 3. But he's up there, and it was things like that. The range of these guys is insane because it's like, if they diagnose a play there, it doesn't matter where they're at. Like a guy like Schwesinger, a guy like Ward, Grant Delpit, that was such a beautiful read that, they're running double slants. Typically you see a guy, he baits Jordan Love and acts like he's going to go with the crosser that's right in front of him. So when Jordan Love sees him take a step, in one direction, he's like, okay, I'm going to have my wide receiver. I'm going to have my receiver right here. And he throws it. And Grant Delpit just kind of does this little move. It felt like he just appeared over there. I didn't even know, because in real time, I looked at Casey. I said, what was he throwing at? Because I assumed that it was just a bad play by him, or it got put in. And then when you actually see the replay, it's like, oh no, he was baited. Grant baited him and made just an awesome play, and then decided he was going to truck Jordan Love just for good measures on his way back. And it was like, at that moment, I was like, I'm putting money on the Browns money line, and it was plus 1,100. And the Browns ended up winning. I make like 30. I put $3 on the Browns, made like $33, like in that moment. Because I was like, in that moment, I'm just like, this team, man, like this defense is just not going to. They're going to will them to a victory in this game. Like I truly was like, hey, they're going to will them to a victory.
Well, I want to say one more thing about the defense, and then piggybacking off the Grand Delta, which that might be Grand Delta's best game. It's up there. It's definitely up there. But yesterday was his birthday, and I think it was a massive opportunity missed for the stadium announcer not to say that and to have us.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I did not know that. There's a huge missed up opportunity on there. Oh, hey, are you guys having a good day? And you want to see some Browns porn on your screen real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a guy that we need to talk about here. Oh, no. Okay. All right. There's a guy we need to talk about here as we switch over to the other side. Last week, I told you guys, we won't spend a ton of time on the offense. We'll talk kind of a little bit about it. But we have stated our case as to why the Browns have the best defense in the NFL. The stats, the swagger, the skill set, the speed, the confidence. Like, they've got all of it. And I tweeted earlier when I gave you guys those stats I gave you earlier in this episode, I even said, like, if their offense could just get decent at times. Decent. And I said at times. I didn't even say consistently. I said just give me some decent flashes here and there. I'm like, they'll compete in every game on the rest of their schedule. And the running game is starting to come together. And I told you guys last week, I said, man, I really think that once Quinshon Judkins can get a full workload, that this offense gets better, a decent bit better. We'll see where it goes from there. But that was what I told you guys last week. So this courtesy here over on Fox is Mr. Quinshon Judkins. Here's Micah Parsons here. Here's Quinshon Judkins. I wonder what's going to happen. Let's just find out. Oh, I see. I appear to have put some violent imagery on your camera, on your screens for today. I wanted to put that in there so bad. Dude, Quinshon and Harold Fannin, you couldn't bring either one of those dudes down yesterday. And it's like, man, if the quarterback, like Joe, continues to just look washed, I'm very concerned about that. At this point, I'm like, why? They're probably trying to get, you talked about it, Casey, probably trying to get past Brian Flores before they try to throw a rookie out there. But Quinshon and Harold Fannin, we didn't really get to see a lot of Dylan Sampson in this game, but Harold Fannin, there's an image of him where there's two guys straight on top of him, and that play ends up with him 6 or 7 yards further down the field once he gets away from both of them. But Quinshon Judkins especially, like, these dudes are playmakers. And like I think these guys are future roster cornerstone caliber players as long as they continue in the trajectory and they stay healthy and all those good things. But the flashes from them, I mean, by the way, I was told we took the wrong Ohio State running back because of Check's notes, things that happened in the preseason. Interesting. That's a thing I was told. Okay. And the leading rusher amongst rookies with nearly double the rushing yards of Travion Henderson is Quinshon Judkins on one less game. Man, I think he can be something. Those two especially. Joe's got to get some more confidence, calm down, get through his reads better. They've got to figure out a way to make the quarterback play more effective because there are weapons out there. And the run game, I think, is coming. I think it is coming around. It's coming. He had 94 yards. Like it's coming around. If they can just build off of the run and really work through 10, I think this offense can at least get to top 20, maybe top 20. I really think if they could get to be like the 22nd best offense and overall offense, I think they could win 8 games that way because that's what I think the defense is. Like, and I'm not even asking them to be top 20. I'm just asking them to be marginally better than the bottom parts of the league, get up to 22, 23. If they could score like 21 a game, maybe they win 8 games the rest of the year. If they say there'll be some games that they won't, blah blah blah, but like they've got to run their offense through Quinshon Judkins first and foremost because that dude is just he looks like he's going to be something really nice.
This offense, like you said, like I need like half good. I need 5 scoring drives a game, and they don't all have to be touchdowns. You can 3 field goals, 2 touchdowns. You can put that together. This team's going to win a ton of games just based on that defense. And if you look at the things that you can fix right away, it's getting the running game on track. It just gives you a shot because then you're up with the sticks. And Quinshon's so good after contact that he's going to get you those extra yards. He falls forward. He's a very physical running back. He's the type of running back that defense gets sick of dealing with all day. So you start to see bigger success later with like gashes, and we saw yesterday. He broke a big one yesterday after he'd been wearing on him, and that just continues. And I think they showed a ton of faith in him to be that guy already. After a limited amount of practice, a little bit of experience in the game, and then all of a sudden, boom, you are the running game now. So how many carries did they have that weren't Quinshon's over the course of a day?
Dylan Sampson had the one other carry.
Quinshon had 18 of the 19 carries yesterday.
That is massive. That is massive to show you this is what the plan is. This kid is the bell cow. You can supplement him, and I can't wait till they can get him and Sampson kind of integrated together to really, give you what you see up in Detroit with, what we'll see next week with Montgomery and Gibbs. When you have 2 competent backs like that can have slightly different skill sets, you can really attack defenses. So that's got to be the plan. And you spoke on Fan, and he didn't have a huge day yesterday, but like that picture you're talking about, those guys on the back, he got the first down after that.
Yep.
They got the first. Like these rookies are not just like okay, they're on the roster, they're coming along. They're already key focal points of your offense, and David had a good day yesterday as well. Should speak on that. He did have a really good start to the season. He came up big for you a couple times. And that's this offense. This offense is running back and tight end oriented. And I'm completely cool with that, man. Because you have competent running back. If you get big plays like the West years, that's great. But we just need to move the ball. We just need to give this defense a break. They'll do the rest. You spoke on the quarterback. They're in a weird spot. They're just in a weird spot. I think they already said Joe's their guy. At some point, they're going to know when it's time, and I'm going to have to leave that to them. I don't want to presume I know better than Stefanski when they should make that switch, but it's inevitable, right? It's inevitable at some point. It's about them finding the exit lane for Joe Flacco, whatever that is. I don't know what that looks like because I don't think it's going to be mid-game struggle pull. Or we saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing for 3 quarters. There was nothing. Nothing you could point to say you have to have that guy on the field. And if they didn't do it, so I don't think it'll be a mid-game thing unless there's an injury,
Maybe.
Or a blowout like Baltimore. But as far as because when you make that switch, it's the switch. You don't switch back.
So, maybe they're just holding out hope that he can that Joe can figure it out. Maybe build some confidence because I think my favorite Quinshon Judkins stat thus far has been he leads all rookies in rushing right now, which is crazy because He had one game fresh off the plane that he didn't even really get many carries in. And he's only been truly featured as the running back in one. And so you've played one less game to begin with, and you missed multiple months. You weren't practicing, you weren't with the team, and you've just come off of the plane, and you lead all in a stacked running back class, right? In a class that features Ashton Genty going 6th overall, you lead all rookies in rushing. And to top that off with this Joe Flacco conversation, you're getting nothing from him in the passing game right now. And to still be so successful, it's honestly some Nick Chubb stuff, to where, we watched Nick for so long, and the offensive line went through all kinds of injuries, and there were certainly quarterback struggles, and he just always got his. He always got his. And that's what it reminds me of, man, because it's like Quinshon's just not going to be denied. He's not going to be denied. And that's a special type of player that they are sitting on right now. And really, I feel like you can win with 2 of the 3 of your phases, be that running, passing, and defense. Now, special teams helped out too, but it's like Quinshon is the reason that they mustered anything on offense yesterday, and it was just it's that much of the edge that he gave them that they needed to win like that. I couldn't be any more impressed with it, because I don't know what's going on with Flacco, and I think you guys are right that it's inevitable at this point, but it just seems like Quinshon doesn't care. Quinshon doesn't care. He kept himself in shape. He kept himself ready. He went through a whole bunch of off the field stuff, and he just come out there and dominates. And dominates a Packers defense that's damn good. I could go on for like an hour. I'm not going to, but Quinshon's a hell of a player, man.
2 quick points. Nick, you're right. And I think the Browns, here's the bright spot for me for the Browns offense. I think you've already played the 2 best defenses you're going to see. Baltimore and Green Bay, I think, are the 2 best defenses you'll probably see. Maybe someone comes along puts it together later. But as we're standing today, it's only going not easy, obviously, but it's not what it was. But the last point is, Brian Baldinger put out some clips of Quinshon this morning, and he said this that made me the happiest, because it's the way I felt when they drafted him. He looks like a Cleveland running back.
Let's see. Let's check in on Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski here. Let's see what they're up to. I wonder what they're up to here. Oh.
Put it on loop, man. Put it on loop. It's beautiful.
That doesn't look like that. That's 2 people that really don't like each other, and they're working in opposition of each other.
Yeah. Love it, man. Needed this one. Needed it big time.
Go ahead.
When I look at that clip, what do I see? I see 2 dudes who want to win. I see 2 dudes happy that they won, because there was a lot of maybe like, okay, they're just coasting. They're not trying to win. They're not serious. Man, look at that. Look at that. Look at that embrace. Look at that. Look how pumped they are right in that moment. You know what I mean? These are 2 dudes who want to win. All their moves are done with the idea of trying to win. So this whole crowd that I'm hearing out there that they're tanking, they're just in it for the draft pick, their jobs are secure. They know they need to win, man. They know that is the ultimate goal, and they only get there working together, man. Wins are so fucking hard to come by in the NFL. So hard to come by, man. And let's be real, they stole that one yesterday.
Yeah.
The only thing you can say deserved to win was the Browns' defense. The rest of that team, they deserved that win. They stayed with it, they fought, and they had to get every inch to do it. But they know they got one yesterday, man, and they were pumped to have it. I just want to hear the narrative that is they're not trying to be serious. They're not trying to be competitive. Man, that's what I get out of that.
One of their big contributors that they added, somebody that's been a big part, Malik Collins, that we mentioned, like that's a veteran they signed to a multi-year deal. I know it was only 2 years, but it's a multi-year deal. That's not what tanking teams do. Like, did they tank at the end of last year? Yes. If things go horribly wrong this year, would there be some tanking? Yes. But they did not set out to tank this year.
Right.
That's not. And we'll kind of put a bow on this immediate Victory Monday episode show here. And we'll be back to talk more and look ahead later this week and some other great content coming to the channel. So make sure you're paying attention. But I would like to share this video here that I took yesterday. Let's just enjoy this together. How about that?
They're all sides.
Don't mind the part where I saw the flag before the flag and I screamed, "They're offsides!" Because it's funny because Casey, we talked about this at dinner afterwards. Nobody really realized there was a flag until we were rewatching the end of it from the TV copy, because you see the flag and they don't put the 3 points to the Browns right away because they got to wait for the flag. And I forgot that I had already called the flag when it happened, because I saw that it's at the very top of the screen, the Packer, that's the furthest from where we were sitting. So it would have been like the right side of the Browns offensive line part. He jumps over and he tries to get back, but he didn't. And that was what the play was. It was an offsides. But it's just hilarious because I forgot I even noticed that until Casey replayed the video later, and you hear me go, "He's offsides." And I was like, "Oh, that's right. I did see that." Because in that moment, I knew I didn't care if the kick went in, because I knew in that moment they were getting another kick if it didn't, because he had jumped offsides. I knew there was a penalty. I knew they were going to get that 5 yards an additional kick. So in the moment, but as soon as the kick went through, completely forgot all about it. Completely forgot all about it. We all went crazy. We're like, "Oh my God, this is such an un-Browns way to win. This is a Browns way to lose." But man, if you guys got some finishing thoughts to put a bow on this, I'll kick it to you, Case, just for final thoughts.
Well, first, as Jacob said that, I didn't hear him say that. I was so zeroed in, and I don't hear anything, man. Like I was the kick when we blocked, I was trying to push with my mind, and we ended up blocking that one, and then that one I was just hopes and prayers, baby. This team's going to fight. This team's not going quietly. They figure out a few things, and it starts with the running game being efficient up there, and you got to figure out. Obviously, we lost DeJuan Jones for the season, so they got to figure out tackle. They got to bring guys in or move guys up in the practice spot. There's got to be some movement now. They got to figure out their offensive line, get this thing rolling. Dog, 18 to 21 points is going to win you 9 games.
It might. It really might. It really might.
Good. That's all I'm asking. So that's where I'm at, man. They got to figure some stuff out. You're going to Detroit, high-powered offense. The defense can do their thing. But holding a team to Detroit under 20 points seems tough. Seems like a tough ask. So this offense needs to wake up quick so they can, keep this thing on the rails.
This team's inspired me. It's inspired hope. I think about it, and I'm like, man, you're a special team snafu away from being 2-1 right now, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Whenever your team, the Browns showing heart like they did, and especially we didn't even talk about it, but that fumble should have been Browns' ball.
Oh. And I forgot about it because of the way the game ended. I saw people talking about it on Twitter that this when I got up this morning, and I was like, "What are they? Oh, yeah."
So to rally back from that, and for Denzel Ward to turn back the clock, I think that's his first block kick since
that was Shelby
against Baltimore.
So Shelby Harris actually blocked it. Denzel missed. He completely Superman laid out for it. Do you not think that man wanted to win that game?
Hell yeah.
It actually got past him, and it was big old Shelby Harris with his big old mitts. And if you watch, It's his 6th block kick of his career. If
That's
you
great.
watch him when it hits his big mitt, he starts like waving and like going. You start seeing his hands, like you're like he knew. He's like, yeah.
Hell yeah, man. You know, everybody's ready to leave the Browns season for dead, and they ain't going quietly, man. They ain't going quietly. It's inspiring. Don't forget, we got a Discord. Jacob will put that link in there. I'm sure he hinted at a bunch of content. We'll keep you informed on that. We're going to be coming at you everywhere and anywhere, many times a week. And my final thought is this show is 1-0 in person together. So that's pretty damn fun, man. Love spending time with you guys. Love everybody taking their time to watch us. Thank you for all the support. This has been our first Victory Monday in a long damn time episode of the Barking Brown Show. Nick, he's Casey on the road. There's Jacob. Why didn't I wear my Victory Monday shirt? Go Browns.